Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this reading is for our December 8th, Tuesday, December 8th, 2020. But as always, my intention is for it to be a timeless message to help heal our souls. And so with that, I am dropping down into the cosmic laws of truth and love, which are one and the same. To see what it is for today. What is it that we most need to know? Okay, so we have reversals, 3 reversals again, but that's okay. I think there are special messages that come through reversals that can be just as healing, if not more. Okay, so with the the 9 of Pentacles reversed as the theme. Well, this has us, to me, I personally, when I get this card, it's a reminder to be grateful for everything that I have and to look around and notice in my life all the things that I have taken for granted. It's not a card of apathy, but when it comes to the physical, material realm, it has us in that place where we're not really looking up and we're not really focusing on all the peace. There's a peaceful white dove here. In some decks it's a hawk and a falcon, with the falcon being the focus. In some decks the meaning is more of kind of being, in the lap of luxury, but maybe being stuck in it. When it's reversed, we're not stuck in it. So there's that good message that comes through when it is reversed. But I also see it as looking down rather than looking up to the future. How about we focus down inward and, remember all the 9s are a culmination. They're not a complete completion, but I don't think anything ever is really complete. I think we just continue in spiral, circles of energy that bring us into deeper levels of consciousness. And it's a spiritual law that we have to fully inhabit one level of consciousness before we can move to the next. So, to completely inhabit the level of luxury and grace and ease and moving forward in all of the beautiful ways that that the 9 of Pentacles, holds for us. It's a very successful card. It's definitely full of wealth and prosperity. It can sometimes be a little self-indulgent, especially if you don't venture out beyond, your own garden, so to speak. But when it comes through reversed, there's something that's not fully yet. There's a level of consciousness that we haven't fully yet worked through. And that's why, the card would come through reversed sometimes. Other times it can be, when it comes to reversals, and I'll go through this more deeply when I do all the teaching videos on reversals, but just a general note to remember that there's several different ways to read reversals. It can sometimes be, and you can do it by your intuition as to which way to read it, or you can just set a certain intention for it to always be a certain way, but that might or put a limitation into the cards that are drawn. So I tend to like to be more open. So sometimes it's a message of you have to go back to the card before. So that would be the 8 of Pentacles, which might be working harder. Or it might mean that you've been working too hard and you need to give yourself the luxury of a break. And then other times the 9 of Pentacles will be the exact opposite. So this could be that feeling of, not having any luxury or grace or ease in your life. Other times it can just be the inverted energy where it's like it's not fully into that. You're in those, because all levels of consciousness vary by degree. So this could be just where you're not fully into all 9, like 9 degrees to the nth degree, almost to the 10th of being in that place where you just trust that the universe will always provide for you. But that doesn't mean that you don't still work hard or like to work, or, it doesn't mean that you want to just like lay around and do nothing, right? Because the pentacles, they involve our involvement in life. They bring in the need for our involvement and engagement in life, and it's all about our resources and what is sustainable. So just to speak a little more about the Nine of Pentacles reversed, besides the need for, the way I see it for myself is needing to focus on being more grateful, and to look at all the things in my life that I'm very grateful to, and notice the details, or very grateful for, and look to the details. But some other, just normal meanings, like keyword traditional meanings with the Nine of Pentacles. When she comes in reversed, it can be sometimes like spending recklessly on physical things, because the pentacles are all down here on the ground. It's not like looking up to your resources, which are actually within. But so sometimes when we don't feel like we have enough, we'll just go spend more to make ourselves feel safe, and which is very understandable. Like if you're, well, just remember what we've all gone through with when the coronavirus first hit. My goodness, everybody went and bought up all the toilet paper. I don't know why that would have been the first thing. And that wasn't something I did at all. I was flabbergasted by that. But I did take stock in my pantry. And I did start to look at things that, mattered to me most, and stocked up on those things. And so it can be that energy, which is, being conscious of what matters to you most, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Sometimes this can be somebody being like dependent on you to the point that you can't really take care of yourself that well. Where you're always being pulled in 9 different directions. Other times it can be being deceived by somebody just to get your money, because they look to you as like the cash cow. Other times this can have us noticing that we have friends who are jealous, and that's on them. That has nothing to do with you. That's on them. That's their own insecurity. Or it could be we notice we're jealous, and then we have to go look inside and decide, why would I be insecure about myself? Why would I think that I needed to compare myself against anyone else? Because anytime we compare ourselves to others, we violate the spiritual laws of love and brotherhood, humanity, because we're all unique individuals, and we need to honor that. We're all here with a very unique path. And it's never a one-size-fits-all, other than we all need to, heal our souls from wherever we have false beliefs. That's the only thing we can say that we're all here for. And that Earth is a school that can, it's a dualistic paradigm where we can definitely tease out our inner split and work with it, quickly, because it's, here on Earth, it's right in our face. We can't avoid it like we can in the spiritual realm, in the highest realms of light from, which we hail. We can kind of coast on our laurels, and kind of coast on our divine essence that's already such a big part of us. But here on Earth, we have to look at it. We have to look at our distortions, I should say. But it's really important to also remember who you truly are to help you through this. And we're just learning to identify areas that need work, but not identify with them as that being the totality of who we are, because that's not true. Other times this can be, because like I said before, if you go back to the Eight of Pentacles, this card can be workaholism. So there's that. So those are all the traditional meanings. But now let's try to combine it with what would it be? What would it mean if we combine it with the Hanged Man reversed and the Four of Pentacles reversed? Well, to me, there's a place of not surrendering to your higher self, not looking at things from a different angle, always looking outward to others. And there's also this, with the Four of Pentacles, there's this need for healthy boundaries. So that's, it's going to be a different message for different folks. So with the Hanged Man reversed, there's this inability to let go, or this not wanting to let go. And this could be because you're financially dependent on someone else, or they're financially dependent on you, and there's something in you that loves being needed, but in a little bit more of a distorted way than should be. I mean, of course, when you have young children, before they become young adults that can take care of themselves, you have to surrender to that fact that they need you. But this goes beyond. There's something bigger in here, or something deeper, I should say, because when the Hangman's reversed, it can be a place where we kind of deceive ourselves, and there can be sometimes, some stagnant soul substance. Now, this could come through with that possibility of not being grateful, and just hanging there in that place of, why can't it just be the way I want? And having a demand on the universe of just wanting it to be the way you want it, and you want it now, but you don't want to wait and be patient. There's that possibility. Other possibilities with the Hanged Man reversed can be looking at things, looking at spiritual things from the wrong angle, and forgetting, and I say this because we have two pentacles, here. This is important. This is like matter and spiritual and matter, the matter of your body. So if you're looking at the Hanged Man reversed, in conjunction with any of the Pentacles cards, we always have to look at that possibility that we're not fully honoring our physical life, and we're looking. This can be like those areas, of spiritual bypass. Like we want to just be in the place of, oh, it's all love and light. And it is in the highest realms of consciousness and higher consciousness. It is all love and light and unity. But here on earth, it's not always. And we have to learn how to love ourselves through those times, and to set healthy boundaries through those times. Because otherwise, we won't be honoring, what truly matters to us. So the Hangman comes in reverse when we're learning how to discern, what would be best for you, and it's going to be different for each one of us. So I can't say what's best, because it's what's best for you now, and it'll be something better for you later, or the what's best for you later will be different than what it is now. But the key with the Hanged Man, or woman, whatever you want to call it, when it's straight up, is just to listen to your inner voice. And it's going to be very, very unique for you. To find that whisper within that doesn't yell at you. It's just an invitation. But you have to give it attention. And I think that might be the main message for us, is that when we're too focused on the, in the material realm, and we don't listen within, if we don't give time for the whispers to come up, if we don't give time for meditation and for self-reflection and going within, we're never going to see a different perspective, which is what the Hanged Man is all about. Because this, in this direction, when it's reversed, it's a very limited view. And it's actually, I mean, if we just read a little directionally, the figure here is looking outward rather than looking in, and just looking up and maybe going more global, which is why I felt like that spiritual bypassing, you know, can come in. And you can Google that and read more about what spiritual bypassing is, but I just feel like it's on the most simplest level. It has to do with not honoring everything that's going on within your own physical, you know, life, and like glossing over deeper issues that are coming up as a beautiful opportunity to heal. But there are many ways that it can play out, which is why it might be something you'd want to Google and figure out, or to get all the ways that it could play out, all the ways it could be, it could work in any human being's life. So yeah, and then with this Four of Pentacles reversed, goodness, of course it's all about the need to release the past and to be more generous. Sometimes this card comes through when there's been a loss, a financial loss, and it's sometimes like you just look at the image here. If you imagine the purse is open and everything falls out, well, maybe there's, you know, like shopping addictions, you know, retail therapy. I tried that once. I seriously regret it. And like if the purse is open and all the money falls out, like it could be gambling, it could be any addiction to spending money as a means for like instant gratification. Which, you know, if you go into spiritual bypass with that, it would be like, oh, the money will always come, no worries, it's all right, it's all love and light, like that whole thing. But deep down, what's festering is actually an addiction that needs to be healed. There's that possibility with this card, reversed, and this combo. I feel into, is there any other thing that this could be about? Well, there's a real need for acceptance, you know, as to what matters, so that you can have those strong, healthy boundaries. Sometimes it's a generosity, though, but this card isn't as generous. So that's a little interesting. Yeah, I get the feeling that it's all about getting really, really clear on not bypassing any physical things that we need to address. And I feel like the bigger picture here, because you know we are approaching the winter solstice, where we have, you know, the big conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. We'll have, like, you know, the two bright shining stars like close together. In the sky, it's not going to look like just one. You'll still see the two. But then again, we're in that time of year when a lot of us probably won't even be able to see it anyway. But that fusion of Aquarian energy does, with the two builders of the zodiac, you know, Saturn and Jupiter are the builders, that does bring in that quality of seeing the big picture and focusing on resources, you know, Saturn resources, and then Jupiter opening up to all kinds of possibilities, which are really beautiful, but also safety first, you know, safety first. How can we be as sustainable as possible. And when we do shopping, online or wherever else, is it something we really need, or do we just want it? You know what I mean? I mean, this might, like 2021 might be a year to kind of hunker down and be more careful. Because if we turn all of these straight up, what we're going to see is that we have all of the elements of our ability to create and sustain and manage our lives within. We have that within. That's who we truly are. And sometimes we need to save money and resources, for the future, because maybe we're wanting to change careers. Maybe we're going through a career change, and we need that money saved to go towards education, or to be able to fund a new business, or to get you through that time when you're working on the new business but it doesn't bring in money yet. Of course, because that's how it always is. You're always putting a whole lot out, for free before anything comes in. So seeing the big picture, and when the hangman is straight up, it's a turning point, but it's focused inward. And even this card is focused upward and out. If we leave it where it was and see the beauty there, it's more focused inward. Because this card is all about advancing in your life, on the spiritual level. It has to do with, progressing forward after you've transitioned into a new level of consciousness. And you don't get that until you look at everything from all different angles and you go, well, but what if? What about this? And like I said, truly, truly listening to your inner wisdom and that little voice within that has a whisper that says, hey, what about this? And just following, going after what you truly love. It's like that old book, Sanaya Roman, years ago, or was it Shakti Gawain? I forget. I think I was reading both of them at the same time back in the 80s. But anyway, one of the books was, I think it might have been Sanaya Roman, that was Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow. And Shakti Gawain was beautiful for like opening to your guides. Really, old books that you can probably get for, well, hopefully they're still in print. But they're written so beautifully and simply that they open up levels inside of you where you go, oh, I know this is the truth. I know this is the truth. And you can take it in because there's not much mental, there's not all the like Ken Wilber, mental intellectual jargon that takes you like out of your body and you're trying to figure out, you're trying to grok what he's saying. I prefer the more simple books when we're into spiritual law and the way things work. Not that I'm going to put down Ken Wilber at all, I won't, but it's just different things for different purposes. And for this purpose, to me, it looks like it's all about preparing, opening spiritually for a whole new reality, and then preparing for a life that is easier and more graceful for you. So that, and to get that, you're going to need the healthier, stronger, you're just going to need healthy, strong boundaries. And keeping control of your purse strings, basically. So, to go back to the reversals, any ways that you're not doing that, it's going to cause some financial loss. But it will bring you back into what really matters to you. And, when these lessons come, it's like, it's all right. You'll get through it, but it doesn't have to be that hard if you can get the lesson an easy way. But always look within. Look within for what it is in your life, because we're all different and we're all at different stages of evolution and growth. So I can never say that it's, it's just this one way, other than following your own creative, spontaneous, real self that wants to come through. And give yourself time every day to meditate and listen and open to many different possibilities. Because when the Hangman is straight up, it's one of the most beautiful cards of surrender and just letting go and letting your higher self lead you, rather than our ego monkey mind that says, oh, but wait, but I have to. But what if you don't? What if you can just let go and open to being in some luxury? And it's okay if you're not making a lot of money right now, because you're focusing on a brand new paradigm to step into. What if it's that? Yeah, okay, so I think I've gone through all the different angles of these cards in both directions. And big hugs to you guys. Take good care, and I'll be back soon for the 9th, for Wednesday, December 9th. Okay, bye.